Thank you very much. Good morning, Hi-Ten, George Realty. Hope you had a nice weekend. Well, the Dodgers fans had a great weekend, I have to say. They won the World Series. What an incredible comeback. I can't believe it. And Yamamoto was just such the excellent player, and he saved the Dodgers. What can I say? So
Yeah.
I'm sure they have a very celebration today, and good for those people who are with them. But anyway, they are also invited to the warehouse. I mean, to the White House too, right, John?
Yep.
Are you going?
What? No,
Are you going to the White House?
no. I'm gonna stay right here where it's safe.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. But
Too many
congratulations to the
people.
Dodgers. Okay. Well, we are. It's the 3rd of November. Believe it or not, we practically only have 1 month to go. So this is our last push of the years. So don't give up yet. We still have about a month to go, and hopefully you can wrap up your engines and go do some business before the end of the year. Okay, and the weather is pretty nice, I think. Pretty cool during the day, and you don't have to worry about dehydration anymore. Good to
It's affecting transactions in some HOAs.
yeah, walk the street and get some listings. Okay. All right. This week we have Marie Contempo Escrow for affiliate spotlight. Before that, I will introduce the other affiliates first. Let's begin with Nicole. Nicole from Fidelity National.
Good morning. Happy Monday. Hi-Ten, George, agents and affiliates, wishing you all a beautiful and blessed November. Just want to bring to your attention, if you are working on a transaction and your client decides to use a power of attorney, please make sure that you have the power of attorney approved by the title company to make sure that they're using the correct POA before it's signed. Is somebody talking?
I'm sorry.
Is David talking?
I just muted him. I don't know.
Please. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be using a POA, power of attorney, please make sure that you get it approved by your title team, because we don't want to cause any delays. And also, if clients are out of the area, we do allow RON notarization. However, there are certain requirements. They have to be U.S. citizens. So reach out to your title partners. We're here to support you. Thank you so much. Looking forward to this month of gratitude, Thanksgiving. And yes, as Peter said, we still have a month. There's time. Reach out to your clients. Thank them for their support in their business. And just stay in front of them. And again, thank you so much. Have a fantastic day.
Thank you,
Nicole with Fidelity. Yes.
Nicole, it have to be U.S. citizen. Permanent resident will not suffice.
For the RON notarization, they have to be a citizen.
Oh. Okay.
Right, Nancy? That's what we've been told. They have to be a citizen. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Sorry, I wasn't listening. Sorry. I was answering my email. Sorry about that.
So the RON notarization, I told them they need to be U.S. citizens and prove.
Yeah.
I'll call you right back.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Nicole. Next, we have
you.
Nancy from Lawyers Title. Nancy, good morning.
Good morning. Happy holiday season, but that doesn't mean we stop working, okay? I'm still working. A couple of heads up on things. If you see there's a city second or any kind of hero loan, it is taking a long time for escrow to get the demand. They are not like regular lender, okay? So these loans came out a few years ago for first-time home buyers, for hero program, to do upgrades for residents. So when you see a loan like that on your profile, you always order a profile so you can see all that document. Don't just rely on your MRMLS and Zillow and all that stuff. Then if it shows up on your prelim, of course, you need to get on it right away because it just takes a long time. I have one that we're supposed to close tomorrow. We're trying to get the demand. It's been many days. So Marie could probably add to that because she's the escrow and all the escrow officers online. Just want you to close your transaction smoothly. Okay, I want you to look good in front of your seller and in front of your buyers. In this case, the seller is not happy, the buyer is not happy. Of course, the both sides agent are anxious. So let's do your duty and look at the prelim. I do look at prelims myself. Sometimes I miss one or two, but you guys let me know. Thank you so much, Nancy Chan, Lawyer's Title. Go there and knock some doors, right, Peter?
That's right. Thank you, Nancy. All right, next, John Wax. John?
Thank you, Peter. And yes, congratulations to our back-to-back winning champion Dodgers. And I'm representing today. And listen, guys, again, I'm going to jump on the bandwagon. Order your Snap and HT reports up front. Take it with you on their listing appointment. This is the time to fill your pipeline. Maybe they're not ready to do anything, but in January, hey, it's a different thing. It's a new year, but fill the pipeline, follow-ups, people you're going to do business with, maybe not now, but in the future. They need consultations. They need help as far as that goes. The other thing I'm listening to, the words and the talking was from Gud Hutchinson that I'm watching another Zoom. He's talking about some of the changes in the laws and things regarding the FHDS and the different zones. He said there's 3 zones, 0 to 5 feet from the dwelling out. There is no vegetation up against the house. That is the fireman's defensible space, and there should be no vegetation of any type, because that is a combustible area, and you have to be able to get right up and close to the property to be able to fight the fires. Then you have it from 5 feet to 30 feet with limited vegetation and no dead foliage, and making sure that the area is not showing any brush or trees that are dead where they could be combustible. And then from there, you have 30 feet to 100 feet. And that not only deals with the foliage on the ground, but it deals with the trees. And that has to be a 6-foot difference or height from the lowest branch of a tree to the highest bush, because they call that the fire ladder. They want to make sure that anything on the property is low in combustible materials and things like that. As far as filling out the FHDS card form, I'm your expert. I've been doing this for 31 years, and just contact me. I'll be happy to walk through you and your clients regarding that. Don't forget, if you're doing leases, because lease is a good way to supplement your income, we have the free lease report. And check out the property tax estimator right on our website. It's free, and you can check that out. And lastly, if you're working buyers, which we have to do also, check out the hazard preview right on our website. It's free. You just have to register. If you need help registering, I'll register on our site. And then all you have to do is put an APN number or a street address, push start. On the right-hand side, you'll get in-out determinations for fire, flood, earthquake, fault, and seismic hazard. My biggest tip to you is keep working. Wear your badges when you're out there, because you never know when the next deal is coming from. I thank you for allowing us to be a part of your office and your team. And let's go, High Team. 4th quarter. We got about 45 days or so left. Let's do it. Thank you.
Yeah, good. Let's do it, John. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, next we have Unita Wu from HWA Home Warranty. Unita.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Michelle. And thank you, Hi Team Core Banker. Oh my gosh, John, you're high energy. I gotta put it out too. You need a Woo home warranty for America, always the 13 months home warranty. I want to say thank you so much for all your continued support. Really appreciate you guys. Like what Peter was saying, right? It's time to do door to door. Right now, the weather is so good, right? So we have door hangers, we have flyers holder, we have nail files, just like a goodie, like marketing stuff that you guys could be able to have. People love free stuff. If you want to add it into like, when you do the door to door, I'm happy to supply them for you. And hopefully you could get some listings and buyers and then refer back the home warranty to us. If you guys don't know home warranty, a lot of people still don't know what's home warranty. I do want to remind you guys, like, even though we are the smaller like site right there, it is so important right now to have insurance, right? I just had somebody replace the air conditioning system for $5,000 that we pay out. And it's really important, especially for the first time buyers. They don't know what is home warranty. When they get to use it and then be able to utilize it, they finally understand like, oh, insurance actually work, right? That's why we always try to buy the platinum package that come with the rekey upgrade system, air conditioning, things like that. Don't buy the basic, because when you're buying too small of the insurance, it doesn't matter who you go to. It's going to be too little for them to use at the end of the day, right? We also have the insurance deductible up to $1,000 if you guys need that. We're here to help you guys. And if you need anything, just give me a call, order the home warranty ahead of time so we could be able to discuss it with the buyer, what best plan for them, and reach out to me. I do speak English, Indonesian, and Mandarin, and we do have those brochures as well for your client to be able to preview them in different languages. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful day ahead of time, and thank you again, and happy November.
Thank you, Junita. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have Yolanda in the training room, right?
Yes, she's coming.
Oh, no. Good
Yolanda from
morning.
WFG.
Thank you so much,
Yolanda,
Peter.
good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Hi-10 George Realty. I'm so happy. I'm such a Dodger fan, so I'm surprised I still have a voice. But with that excitement, I want to piggyback on what a few of you were saying. One, this is the perfect time to prospect, but this is the perfect time to prospect your past customers, your database, your family, your friends, the holidays. And I told you I sold real estate for 4 years, way back. And this is the time of year that I prospect all my past customers and potential good customers, future, and family and friends. So prospect now. And then I like what Nicole said about the POA, also about a trust. If you're getting a listing that is vested in a trust, please get a copy of that trust so that we can review it up front. Yeah. Because a lot of times it's recorded. You check on the property profile, it shows that it's recorded in a trust, but we need to actually get a copy or email us the trust so that we can review it to make sure everything is in order. Recently we had a transaction. The property was vested in the trust, the mother passed away, there was 4 beneficiaries, 4 siblings. One of them was currently residing there at the property with his mom when she passed away. And guess what? When right before closing, they finally forwarded us the trust. And guess what? There was a life estate on that son. So they couldn't sell. Yeah. We had to, because if the agent and everybody had this up front, we would have known that we would have to address that one of the bennies who was currently residing in the property, there was a life estate on him. So it was all worked out, but we don't want to hold up transactions. Let's work this out in the beginning. So, POA, trust, all that. Let's review, even submit the SI. If you're working on a listing, let us see if there's any personal judgments or liens, especially when there's a lot of uninsured deeds. I do have a few agents who are under the impression the person came off, so we don't have to worry about them. No, it's an uninsured deed. We got to go back to the last insured transaction. So we need to run SIs on the people who were on temporarily because their judgments, their liens get attached to the property, even if you do an uninsured deed and take them off title. So let us help you. Yolanda Martinez Arenas, WFG National Title Company. Congratulations, the Dodgers, and have a great productive week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Yolanda. Thank you very much. Okay, that's all the affiliates, I think, right, Michelle?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's welcome Marie from Contempo Escrow. Marie, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Marie Paramore with Contempo Escrow, here to help you grow your business. What can I say about our market? Things are still moving. Even though it may have slowed some, but things are still moving. Buyers are still out there moving, and it seems like there's more listings. I think our transactions, as far as time-wise, they've slowed down a little bit as far as timelines. They're taking longer to close, and I think you see a little bit more complications, but things are closing, they are moving. So what I always say to you is continue to do your farming, continue to do your door knocking, your cold calling, because all of those things still very much work. One of the things, we are coming to some great changes, and one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, and Peter, make sure you let me know if I'm going over my time. But I'm going to give you some brief things that are going to be very, very urgent to where we are in real estate currently. Currently, we just received a notification that there's going to be a certain timeline of areas in which I'm going to give to Michelle for those property at zip codes. There are going to be zip codes. There's probably about 20 of them. They probably range in the area of all of the burn areas is where it's related to. But in these areas, there is now going to be a new compliance that states buyer and seller must give a written notarized authorization on their transaction to purchase these properties. So if a property was burned in the area, it's not even the burned area properties, it's all properties. If you have a property in these zip codes that are in Pasadena, Altadena, Los Angeles, Malibu, all those areas, there's going to be a signed attestation that is going to be required. It is going to be a document that's going to be signed by your buyer and seller and notarized by both parties that will have to be signed that says that on this purchase agreement was not entered into by an unsolicited offer in a violation of the subdivision, meaning someone didn't come knock on your door and offer you a much lower pricing for the value of your property. So they want to make sure that these properties were sold intentionally well and within the guidelines of what they should have been sold for and all of the requirements. This document is going to be required to be recorded with the new grant deed. So I think your buyers and sellers will, there could be some question on it. I do want you to be aware of it, because if you receive, from your buyer or seller, any hesitation in this documentation, it is now a requirement. This will start to be in effect as of November 10th. So any transactions that you guys have in escrow, you want them, and they're within this zip code, you want to make sure that that document is within your escrow package, and it's going to go all the way through January 1st of 2027. So that's a huge change for us in escrow, because we're gonna probably get pushback from our principals because they just don't understand why they have to do this. But I'm going to test it all to just making sure fraud doesn't happen, or, sell of properties, illegal, not legal, and all of these different things. So we just have to be a little bit more patient in how these transactions are done and make sure that we're cautious and we take care of everything that needs to be taken care of. The other thing is, many of you may not be aware because it's not so much an agent issue, but those of you that have been in the industry for a long time, it's the requirements of FinCEN. FinCEN is where the reporting agent, which is normally title, is they're obligated to report to the IRS any buyer that is selling in an entity in all cash. That was the previous requirements. So if you have a client that's going to purchase all cash in an entity, and or hard money lending, title was required to do a full investigation of these people's assets, their companies, their driver's license, things of that nature. Well, those duties are now being taken from the title company and given to the escrow officer, which makes us not happy, but unfortunately that's where it's going to be lying. So escrow companies are going to be a lot more stringent on these requirements because now it's in our ball court. So we require a lot more information about your clients. There'll be an application that will have to be completed, and I have my title reps in with me, but my understanding is the escrow officer and the client can allot for a title to handle this process for a fee, but at the end of the day, the escrow company will be 100% liable for everything that goes on those documentations. And under the new bill, they're stating that it's no longer just, they're requiring this requirement for buyers that are buying in an entity, buyers who are doing hard monies, buyers who are even the trust, if you're partaking title in a trust, that's included as well now. And they're also saying that some sellers might have to do, if the buyer has to do the FinCEN, the seller possibly will have to do it as well. So our real estate world is becoming way more difficult. It's just, I think it's more detailed. Things are changing. I think fraud and fraud and all of those things and money laundering and all of those things are just like at peak, which has caused our market to change a lot. So I think every transaction at this point, we just kind of all have to slow down and make sure that we are doing all of our due diligence and all of our files. And I think we all have to have, grace on each other as far as patience wise, because things are changing. They're going to change. Again, I am always here for you guys. If you have your listing appointments and you need net sheets, please feel free to call me. I'm always going to sell you mobile homes if you have a mobile home transaction and guess what? I just found out too under the FinCEN, for any of you that don't do mobile homes, but if you do, a fun fact is they're going to make us do FinCEN on mobile homes too, which considering they're real property, I don't understand it, but we are required. And most mobile homes are purchased they're purchased cash. So it looks like a lot of our mobile homes now are going to go to the FinCEN process as well, which means, our buyers now have to go through that full process. And I'm sure that's going to be uncomfortable there too. So again, every transaction is going to look different to us now. I think we're going to have way more patience for these things because I think everything's just gotten really technical. So I'm here to help you grow your business. Anything I can do to help, always feel free to call me, and thank you and have a great week.
Thank you, Mary. And I think the FinCEN, the enforcement of the FinCEN requirement has been postponed to March the 31st, 2027.
That is correct. But it is
So,
going to,
we don't have to worry about it until that time.
For us, we do because we have to have our attorneys go back through our escrow instructions, revamp our escrow sergeant provisions.
Okay.
All of those things have to be prepared for now for effective March 1st.
Okay. I hope they will postpone again like the BOI, the business ownership information.
We hope
remember the BOI that we have to do the reporting for the beneficial ownership information.
Yeah.
And now only the foreign entity has to do that. The domestic corporations they're exempt from it. So I hope that's not the case for the FinCEN.
Yeah, no one wants it more to be pushed back than us. We don't want to do it.
I know. Nobody wants to do it, but they require us to do more and more stuff,
And even with this rule, I think it's unless you're just doing something absolutely craziness. They're saying that if an escrow officer fails to complete or negligently does not complete the first fine is $250,000, the first fine. And it can even come with a jail penalty if something's wrong. You can go to jail for this. So as an escrow officer, even though we know we would never, well, I hope no one would ever do it, but there's always room for those that will. They have jail time attached to it.
I know. It's getting more complicated, but that's the nature of the beast. We are in the real estate business, so what can we do? We have to abide by
Absolutely.
laws. Yeah, have to do it.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you for the clarification. All
Peter,
right.
Peter,
Yeah.
Peter, can I ask Marie a
Yeah.
couple
Go ahead,
questions?
Sylvia.
Okay. Hi,
Hi.
Marie, you spoke about two requirements. One is it's called fence in.
FinCEN, FINCEN.
Mm-hmm. In. Okay, fence in. Okay, and the other one that you said is doing it's required now. What is it called? Because you
It's
spoke
going to
about
be the acronym is the AB 851, and that's just a written attestation affirming the purchase agreement.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, any more questions for Mary? Okay, if not, then we'll continue with the meeting. And as you know, there will be no lunch and learn for this week. Take a week off of the lunch and learn, but we do have a sky slope training on Friday. That will be a very important training for all the agents, okay? Because sky slope is the foundation of our transaction applications. And all the agents should be very familiar with the sky slope, but you know, a lot of agents are not because they don't use it as often because they don't have many transactions over the year, and when you don't use it for a while, you forget, you know, right? And this is the time to refresh your memory. And Anna Flores, which is our TC, is very good in the sky slope. She's excellent. She's an excellent presenter, and you know, you will learn a lot from her. So make sure you attend this week's meeting. Okay, either you come in person to the training room or through the Zoom. Attend this session. I can assure you that you will never regret. Okay, so this is this Friday at 1 o'clock. Okay, and then our Thanksgiving party will be held on the Friday before the Thanksgiving week, and I think it's on the 21st of November, which is a Friday from noon to 3 p.m. It will be, you know, every year we have quite a party, you know, because we invite everybody to celebrate the Thanksgiving. We invite all the affiliates and also James Charles Development Company, and we should have a lot of people. And so come on in, and we have a lot of food, a lot of drink, a lot of chit chat, and it should be a great party. Okay, that will be November 21st. From noon to 3. Okay. All right. That's all the announcements. And Michelle, can you tell us what is going on with our listing and the sales?
Yes.
Please.
Okay, so we have new escrows last week, 5335 Barena in Covina. It was a lease, excuse me, this is a lease. It's a 2-bedroom. The sale price was $25,800. 16592 Alliance in Tustin, multi-unit Michael Chang, and it's 2.4 million. 8205 East Hellman Avenue in Rosemead, Cindy Fan, that is a commercial lease. She represented both sides. 203 North Nicholson Avenue in Monterey Park. That is 879,999. That is Shumay and Harrison Cam. As the listing agent, selling agent was an outside broker. For the new listings last week, 419 North Chandler, number 310 in Monterey Park. That's Nina and Tatiana at 695,000 condo. And Helen Lee had a lease for $2,900 a month at 13133 Lee Perec at number 1009 Chino Hills. And for closed escrows last week, we have 5335 North Barana in Covina. That was the lease that Janet Say closed. 701 Cornell Street in Los Angeles. Herman Salcido closed a residential for $750,000. Emilio Campos residential 2920 Covina Street in Los Angeles, $798,000. Shumei Cam commercial lease in Hanover Road. That lease is long and large monthly, so it's worth about $11 million. Okay.
Wow. 11 million? That's a lot. That's a big lease.
Yeah. It's huge, huge site.
Huge
Yeah.
lease. Wow, good. That's why I say, so, sometimes the commercial leases are very lucrative,
They are.
It doesn't take much to do it. Once you have the opportunity, you should go for it, okay? All right. So any more listings or sales that we missed, or any reduction in price that you want to tell us, all the agents, or anything that you want to share before I do my presentation?
I'd
Lauren?
like to share my listing, boss.
Yes.
It has been listed for I think a month now. I
Okay.
have two listings, one in Pacoima, a townhouse for 640, and one in Azusa, in Crystal Canyon Drive for 575. I need buyers, boss.
Oh, okay.
Check the MLS or call
Sure,
me.
yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Are you doing some open houses, Lori?
Yes, this coming Saturday.
Saturday? Okay.
Yeah, I'll do in
I
Pacoima.
think you should publicize it a little bit.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yeah. But we do list your open houses, so yeah.
Yes, thank you, boss.
Sure, you're welcome. Hope, good luck, okay?
Mm.
Yeah. Anybody else who want to share their listings or reduction in price or anything at all, or your ideas? This is time to share. No, nobody wants to talk? Okay. All right, then I'll go right into my presentation today. Now, it might be a little bit boring, but it's a necessity for us because we need to be aware of what is going on in the law, and because we have to abide by the law, and there's a lot of laws that affect the real estate. Some of them you don't, you you can't believe, but yet you must comply with it, and so you have to know about it, and also you have to tell your client about it. So it's once in a while you get to be knowing all those new laws that affect the real estate practice. Okay. The first one, the one that I want to tell you about is the AB 3074, which Marie, or actually John West has touched a little bit on it, and this is a new law. It's called the zero zone requirement. What it is that from 0 foot to 5 feet of land, or you cannot have any combustible vegetation within the zone. Now this is the law that is that's the result of our Governor Newsom's executive order to complete formal rule making for Zone 0 by December 31st, 2025. Now it's almost the end of 2025. So there's a lot of talk about this in all the governmental agencies. They want to implement it. They want to finalize it, and they want to implement it the first of the year, which is January 1st, 2026. And right now they don't have the full text of the law yet, but it's going to be finalized pretty soon. So I just want to tell you ahead of time what those requirements are. Effectively, that is the zone that from 0 foot to 5 feet of land and where you cannot have any combustible vegetation in it at all. And any landscaping in that area has to be hardscaping. In other words, it is kind of fire resistant. You cannot have anything that is easily combustible. And also in that area, you have to remove and relocate any combustible items near the house, like the firewood stacks, wood fences near the house, or storage under the decks, or plastic bins and outdoor cushions, all those things, okay? And then on the roof, you have to have a special kind of gutter venting and clear out of dead leaves and debris, and also it has to be hardened so that it can be fire resistant a little bit. And all the vegetation around this area, the plants has to be low growing and well maintained. No ladders, nothing that will prevent or any vegetations that will draw or allow fire to climb into the house and or any other zones. So those are the requirements, and the details. It will be published in the appropriate governmental materials. And then you have AB 851. This is called the Prohibition on Unsolicited Offer in the Wildfire Area, which Maria also touch base on is a law that will forbid you from making unsolicited offers in the wildfire area. And they have the zip codes, specific zip codes that related to those areas. And in those areas, you have to, if you have to have any transfer of title, for example, sales or any other quick claim deeds, you have to have the buyer and the seller execute a written attestation affirming that the contract was not entered as a result of an unsolicited offer. That means it is not an offer from the unsolicited offer from the buyer. In other words, the buyer cannot come to solicit the seller, say, okay, I want to buy your house for a specific amount of money, and the buyer and the seller has to agree on that, and also attest that that there is no unsolicited offer. And this has to be recorded as well with the deed or in other conveyance in order to record the transfer. In other words, even if you have a quitclaim deed to somebody else, even though it's not a direct sale, you have, if the house is within that area, you have to record such a attestation and record it, because if you did not have that deed recorded and prove that the seller and the buyer know that it's unsolicited offer, then you have the 4 months after the execution of the deed. You have the 4 months to rescind the contract. In other words, if you have an unsolicited offer, and then the buyer and the seller make a deal, and then the buyer find out that hey, you have such a law in effect, that the buyer has the 4 months to rescind the contract. That is something that you don't want to get into, because it will be a lot of trouble if you have rescinded the contract after the sale of the property. So never do that. And also the violation will carry civil and criminal penalties. It is a penalty up to 25,000 per violation, and also can carry a jail sentence of 6 months or fine up to $1,000. And this is emergency statute, and it will take effect immediately. So this is very important that you tell the client if your client's house is within that the area. And so they have specified the zip codes that was covered under by AB 851. So all these zip codes here, even though they are not affected by the fire, in other words, even though the house is not burned down, if any house in those areas, if you are trying to sell or do any transaction, you have to have a seller and the buyer both execute attestation that there is no unsolicited offer of the house. Okay, so that is very important. This that has been signed on October 10, 2025 already, and there will be it operates 30 days after the effective days. So approximately it's like November 9, 2025. So probably a week from now. And also it will sunset January 1st, 2027. And after all this emergency statute has expired, this AB 851 will sunset. That means it will go out of effect in January 1st, 2027. And then you have AB 299 is the law that will classify that that who's affected by the wildfire and has to have a lodging in any hotel, motel, or short-term lodging, they will not consider be the tenant until after 270 days consecutively under circumstances. In other words, they have to live in that premises for over 270 days before they will be classified as the tenants of the premises. And so in all these tenants and the landlord and tenant laws will not apply to these people who has a temporary lodgings after these disasters. So this this special rules applies until January 1st, 2031, which is the sunset date for this law. Since this urgency status, so it take effective immediately. So it is effective now. So anyone that is seeking short-term rental as a result of the disaster will not be classified as a tenant under the circumstances. And then you have SB 655, and this is a new laws that they never it's kind of I don't know what to say, but it never was necessary, but now it will require all the dwelling units, which is they must be able to maintain safe maximum indoor temperature. The temperature right now, they set it at 82 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a tentative, but it can always change. Now, in other words, they encourage the landlord to have air conditioning units for the dwelling units, so that the temperature can be maintained in a comfortable temperature. And they said that 82 degree is the maximum temperature that is so consider comfortable. Anything that is below 82 degree Fahrenheit is supposed to be comfortable. Anything that is above 82 degree Fahrenheit is not supposed to be comfortable, and they have to the landlord has the duty to maintain that temperature so that it will not be over 82 degrees Fahrenheit. So in other words, you have to provide the tenant with the air conditioning units if you are in the areas that will have the temperature over 82 degrees Fahrenheit. And this has been signed October 10, 2025, and then you have to there was a start January 1st, 2027. So this is important for those who are renting units, in the residential area, and so all the dwelling units, including apartments, has to abide by this law at the beginning 2027. Okay, and then we have AB 1529, which is the tenant protection rules. Now this is the omnibus bills that covers a lot of areas. It covers the housing element laws and also assistant housing developments, and also the ADU, how to, you have to build the ADUs. What are the laws regarding ADUs and junior ADUs, and the standards and the processing of the ADUs. And also it covers the affordable rent calculation rules for certain developments. And also it covers the eviction rules, and also the rent control rules, and the moratorium, the rules against the rent controls and stuff like that. So this is the kind of overall bill for the tenant protections. Then we have AB 238, which is a pretty good law for people who are the victims of the disasters that happened recently. Because if you got into a financial difficulty, this law will help you to forbear the mortgage. In other words, to stop the mortgage payment for a while, and it will give a good relief for the homeowners. Okay, that applies to 1 to 4 residential units affected by the January 2025 fire disaster, which is the Pacific Palisades, Eastern Canyon, and also Altadena, and you will be able to forbear the mortgage payment for 90 days, and then it's extendable and another 90 days up to 12 months. Okay. So this is a good protection for the homeowners, and during that forbearance periods, there's no late fees or default interest, even though you are not paying the mortgage, and also that you cannot foreclose the property at all during this period, and then also you cannot report any negative credit reporting for the borrowers during that forbearance periods. And how to qualify? Well, first of all, you have to be the victim of the fire, and you have to experience a financial hardship due to this disaster, and because of the wildfire of the 2025. So how do you request for forbearance? First of all, you have to determine whether you're eligible. And you're eligible if you are the victim of the wildfire or any natural disaster during this time. And if the property is 1 to 4 residential units, or any owner-occupied or non-owner-occupied, they are also eligible. And also you are suffering the financial hardship directly or indirectly because of the disaster. But the requirement is that the loan is not in the foreclosure at this point before you request for the forbearance. So that's one of the requirements, that you cannot you cannot get into the foreclosure yet before you request the forbearance. So step number 2 is that you prepare for the request. First of all, you have to state or how come you are experiencing financial difficulty. You have to specify what kind of disaster you're experiencing or you have experienced. And then you have the statement of attestations saying that that everything is true, and then you would need the financial relief on this for this situation. Then you send the request to the bank or the lender, and then you have to keep the proof of submissions, either tracking the email or chat or any written forms that you have submitted the request. And then you have to the bank naturally, because of the law, they have to grant you 90 days forbearance upon receiving the attestations, and no documentation is required beyond the statement of hardship. So they cannot require too much document or proof from you. And also, you may extend a 90 days increment up to 12 months. That means you can have 3 extensions. The first one is for 90 days, right? That's the first 3 months, and then you have a first extension, second extension, and third extension up to a year. Okay, and during the forbearance period, there are no late fees, penalties, no foreclosure, and no negative credit reporting for you. And then after the forbearance, you can work out a repayment plan. You can work out a loan modification or deferral of interest and things like that you can negotiate with the lenders. But you have to do it before 30 days before the forbearance expiration. Now, what if the servicer refuses? There's no reason for them to refuse if what you attest is true. So just because of AB 238, if they refuse, it's a clear violation of the AB 233. And so you can file a complaint with the California Department of Financial Protection Innovation, which is DFPI, or the California Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division. And also you can go to HUD and file a complaint. So you have a lot of protection under this law, and a lot of the governmental agency will help you to get the appropriate right under this AB 238. So this is a very good law for the victim who will suffer the disasters, and this is a good things that you can advise your clients in case they are within those zip codes that I provided you with. Okay, then this is what I have to share with you today. Any questions regarding anything today? Right on time, huh? Gee, good. That's good. Anybody have any questions?
No, great job on the fire hardening part and the defensible
Thank you, John. I'm sorry I steal your win, okay?
No, that's okay. I got you. I introduced you.
Yeah.
What I said,
Yeah,
and
right.
you finished it up. It was perfect.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Seen this on the reverse side, and so I've asked.
Okay, any questions? Okay, no questions. I wish you a good week ahead. And,
Have a great week,
Thank you.
everybody.
You too.
Bye,
Thank you.
everybody. Have a
Bye.
fantastic
Bye.
week. Bye.
Thank
see
you.
next week.
Bye.
Bye. See you soon.
Bye-bye.